joining us on another edition of Alex Jones, Joe Bannie, Voice of Reasoning. Thank you for joining us this evening. And how are you, sir? Mr. Bannie?
Uh, ho- I'm fine. How about yourself?
Uh, thank God it's the weekend.
Amen.
But yeah, so first, how was your week?
Well, I mean, we got been just running up and down, trying to put stuff together to make haste to get back to Liberia on ground to begin work.
Okay.
While I'm here, my people on ground are really working, and I applaud them. I know they are listening to me, and those who are staying not listening to me, pass the message
Okay.
that I really applaud my people. They are working on ground, and we're trying to fix Liberia,
All right. Good.
and
All right.
that's what it is all about.
So, and there's a lot in the news today. And I hate these things where Liberian people, we have this knee-jerk reaction every day. Something. Our broadcast today, we're going to talk about why President WEAH should not be reelected, and we'll try as much as possible to stick to that. As we indicated yesterday, we want to go from the from political leaders, the four major ones, and give our views and analysis on why these people should not be elected, giving some facts, and hopefully the Liberian people will see reason not to elect these people or support them. But as always, something new comes up in the news, and we have to at least give a few minutes of coverage. And I guess today's news is the Spoon TV closure due to some legal injunction. I haven't read any article yet about it, but as much as I know is that there was a legal civil suit, and award was, and the person who sued was awarded a certain amount of money,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, Witherspoon did not pay it, and here we are. So, what's your view on it? Is this a press issue? Is this a legal issue? Is this a personal issue? How do you see it?
Well, from what I gather, I want to say, well, every country is guided by laws and order and laws on the book, and of course there are some other statutory laws, but all laws are laws. What is happening here to close down a social media or a press for that matter? I think my question would be, where is the press union of Liberia? These things that we've been saying years in and year out,
Mhm.
that one wrong can lead to another. Anything that we do and overlook, it progresses. Every time there is a break into transmission and you don't fix that part of that transmission, another thing will happen. you know the uh the system we have, it must be always continue. What do I mean by that? When they shut down, I think some time ago, they shut down a radio station, if you remember, Henry Costa,
Right.
if you remember.
I do.
Henry Costa alone was running around, and I didn't see the press union. And I know we have press union in Liberia. And there have been other instances where the media system can be toppled or interfere or maybe come to a standstill by some authority, and the group will not come up. So my question is, where is the press union? What is their stand on this? Because mind you, it happened to Costa. Now it has happened to another guru. The Spoon Show has been one of the top shows, that gave information. Now they're doing this to Spoon. The next one is going to be another social media. So I think we should be able to all stand together as Liberians who are law-abiding lovers to kick against this, and not the government going against social media. You can go against the individual, go against the individual who caused the problem, and not the institution. For me, I think that was wrong, or is wrong.
Okay. Can I share my view on it? I mean, I think I have a different view on it. You asked a very important question: where is the press union of Liberia? I would tell you that there is no press union of Liberia. Okay, there are a group of people self-serving or beholden to political parties and political individuals. It's not a bona fide institution. If a pig wears a lipstick, that doesn't make a pig, a female. So there's no real institutions in Liberia that are organized, that are independent, that operate with their governing laws. It's all, we here for this purpose. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think what his name, the former information minister was part of the press union, part of the president of the press union of Liberia, Eugene Nangwe. I think Eugene Nangwe. Don't hold me on this, but I think so. All these guys, when they on the other side, when the other side of government, they come out and say, "Oh, we want free press, we want these things." You put it in the government, they do the same thing. They suppress people, right? They censor people. All right. So that's the first thing. We don't have institutions. Hopefully, the next person on bro will focus on that to build institutions, not institution around if you support me or you support the government, but real credible institutions like the bar association that we talked about yesterday. Our bar association, anybody can come from another country. Look at Womadiki came to the country. You can hear even the man accent. Okay, the law says only Liberians should practice law. This man went to the law school. The same Gongolo approved, admitted him into the bar association. The man became anti-corruption chairman. Nobody said anything. All the legal scholar, all the Gongolo, all the workers shut up. Then when they wanted to make him election commissioner because they knew that he would favor George WEAH, then that's when all of them got up and start talking. It goes back to the same analogy you made yesterday. That's the hypocrisy in Liberia. Nobody's interested in doing things right. So when it comes to Spoon, I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them. And I will tell you why. Okay. Some people will look at it like, okay, yes, this is an encroachment against press freedom. That if you close Spoon down, you'll close other people down. I don't think that's true. Okay. ERWA radio station have been operating in Liberia, even though in the 70s, 80s, right? Nobody's bothered them.
Yeah.
Because ERWA radio says what they are, and that's what they are. They're a Christian radio program. They do not come out and say, we Christian radio program, but then they're promoting Boaka, they're promoting comics. You see the difference?
Exactly.
So Spoon TV comes out and say, we're a news service, we're a news media service for the Liberian people. But what are they doing? They were the same people who are whining and dining with George WEAH just a year ago. What kind of journalists go to a country? You get an opportunity to interview the president. You're the president sitting down to the hotel drinking beer. Is that a serious news, people? You understand what I mean? They're not a news. They're a propaganda machine. And if anybody is the president, why will you allow them? When we get real credible news that are doing what they need to do, you see journalists then there taking pictures with politicians, getting cold water from politicians. Why they will not close you down? As a journalist, you carry yourself in the highest, with integrity. You don't see Anderson Cowboy and Joe Biden sitting down drinking beer and stuff like that. You don't see Elizabeth Blunt in an African country there with the president there. No. So people respect these news people and they respect the media. But Spoon TV is not a media. They're a propaganda machine. And so it's Joe Palmer on Joe Rice. They sit there All the other media people, there are people who won't open radio station in Liberia, legitimate radio station in Liberia. They will not open it because of people that smoke. So Henry Costa, let's go back to him. Then I'll turn it over to you. Henry Costa made a deal with George WEAH to support George WEAH in exchange to operate his radio station. Okay? That's a sad deal. It's just that Joe Bogart saying, I will sell the mountain to you, you give me $30 million. So George WEAH wins the election. George WEAH gives him the radio permit, the TV permit. And this is coming from Henry Costa's mouth. That he supported George. Obviously, so that was not wrong. There's no ethical issue there. So he gets on air and then he goes against George WEAH. What do you think a reasonable person would do? Shut you down. You made a deal with the devil and then you come back and say the devil should treat you.
Talk about the devil.
So I don't feel sorry for anyone, and friendly, I will hope they shut all of them down. So we can have real media that will cover news and story and educate the Liberian people, and not this mess the guy out there calling it news and media masquerading. That's my view on it. I'll turn it over to you.
Well, you are right about that. You know, those news media or these how you call it, propaganda now, yes. Even now, I think to my dismay, our national radio station ELBC, you know, say nothing good now about national issue, but have to promote the government.
The same thing.
And opposition cannot even have chance to go on ELBC to make their case.
Exactly.
If you're going to go on ELBC, if they got the money they're going to charge the government, they're going to charge you triple, just to discourage you from not going there. But which the country station should be free for all political parties. But it is not like that now in Liberia. If it is not a CD, if it's not a sedition, you're not going there. And if you go there, they try to discourage you from bringing from being critical.
They extort you.
Yeah,
it's the same.
From being critical.
Yeah. So I don't feel sorry for them, because the same people to ELBC were the same ones who were in a press club talking, advocating against Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You see what I'm trying to say? That's how deceitful the people are. And I just gave you a typical example from my own experience with a Chris Silly at the Truth FM Musa Belede station. I mentioned it last time, and I will keep talking about it, because this is where corruption starts. We are doing a show. You bring Bowman Komara, your friend or your whoever travel man on the show. It's a business and economic show. Everybody there are business professional. You are not business professional. Okay? And you bring this man there, and you bring him there to protect him, to position him for the next government, to work in the next government. So somebody asking critical question, he can't answer it. He said Liberian government health budget is 1%, which is not correct. He's embarrassed. What they do? They kick me off. But this man was, I think, deputy press secretary on Ellen. He's the same one tomorrow be crying, oh, we want press freedom in Liberia. We want press freedom in Liberia, the thing what the government doing. But he's not seeing what he's doing in his own platform. Think about if that man, Chris Silly, was Minister of Information. You and I, nobody will criticize his government. So that's a test of time, and we'll go into our topic straight. Why George WEAH should not be president of Liberia.
Right.
I'll start with you. Lay down your case. Let the people know. Why do you think that George WEAH shouldn't be president?
Well, why do I think that George WEAH should not be president? I mean, it is glaring. All of the allegation against him and his performance, which is very poor from over the past 5 years, almost 6 years now. Everything is glaring. What a country should be like, in my view, that a country must, according to the Constitution, we should abide by the Constitution. In the first place, George WEAH, when he took office, he started breaking the very rule, the very laws that he swore to uphold. He started with appointing government officials that should be that had to go through Senate confirmation. He override that. He overruled it, and the senators, the lawmaker, didn't do anything about it. That is where this boy, I call him boy because he really act like a child. That is where this boy got his strength from. When he put the first slap in the people's face, I mean, literally, I mean, I'm just saying figuratively.
Definitively.
When he put slap in the people's face, everybody turn their faces. They turn the other cheek. Every time he put the turn the other cheek, they turn the other cheek. So he just feel like he can do anything and get away with it. You see? So George Weah leadership over the year is glaring. There is no job creation, which government should do that. Who are the people doing our job, our major job, if not foreigners? These people come in now. This is what one of my friends told me. He is a superintendent in the government. I mean, very close friend. What they do here, Chu-Chu, is this. If the two of us on this show we decide that we want to bring somebody to join us, what I do, I go get my friend or a relative.
Right.
When you get on that show, don't call me uncle or don't call me brother. Pretend you don't know me. And then we will discuss the salary. That way, okay, they're gonna be paying you $50. But instead of $50, let's charge them $75 and the $25 come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what the people doing in the government, in the job we are government, is that they overcharge for a contract, so that portion can come to them. Typical example, what happened in Ellen Johnson Salute. I would say that because it happened to my own town, Belayala. When the road was going in, they took the road contract and gave it to Kofi Hoops. He was the public work minister at the time. So what did they do? They sold the contract to a foreigner who happened to be a brother-in-law to Ellen Johnson. So what did he do? He took, he is a foreigner, and they are giving you portion of the contract. What will you do? You will take it. As a result, at the end of the day, Chu-Chu, if you are going to Belayala on that road, you ride a bicycle on that road, the tire will pop. That's how bad the road was. They just make a road. You can't ride even a motorbike on it, the tire will bust. Now, so the corruption in George Weah government at this time has skyrocketed that even the children, the second see and notice it. So how much more if we were put by this man back to power? You know the damage Liberia will incur? This is why, for me, George Weah should not go back. His government is marred with rampant corruption. That's just it. Rampant corruption. Everything else hangs on it. Rampant corruption. No regard for human rights. Nothing. No regard for the common people that even put into power. No regard for the country. There is nothing else this man does if it is not coming into his pocket. So with all this cover, this man should not go back. That's my take. I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe you have more information, you got more insight.
Well,
but everything will boil down to this rampant corruption.
I always take a different approach to things. And my approach to why George Weah shouldn't be president is a little different. Okay. As far as corruption, Liberia has always been corrupt. In fact, I would make the case that the previous governments were even more corrupt. Okay. Ellen government, but way more corrupt in terms of pay, the amount they pay themselves, the people who got positions, they were way more corrupt. In terms of performance, all right, the two are the same. Like you talking about the road in Better Yala, you talk about women issue, healthcare, the economy, and we can put some of the statistics on the screen. It will help us understand so that we're not just talking. We can look at the actual numbers from Ellen to George Weah. If you look at the numbers, surprisingly, George Weah numbers are better than Ellen numbers in many instances. in per capita wise, inflation wise, you know. So that's not the reason I think Joshua should not be president. We got corruption, like I said. You put Joe Burger there, you'll be corrupt. You put Gonglo there, you'll be corrupt. You put, Cummings there, you'll be way corrupt. That way you will see real corruption in Liberia. Because you will see real corporate
Can be
corruption.
way corrupt.
Way corrupt. Because he knows he will know how to steal even more. I think the problem for me personally, why George Weah shouldn't have been president, or he should not be president, is that the message is sent to young people to say that you can't prepare for a job. Okay, you are not equipped, qualified to do a position, but because you're a celebrity, right? You get the position, and you get the position now. You can't do the position. You finding ways to maintain it. That message is sent to 3-4 million young people. To tell you that you are not supposed to be capable for a position that you get, and you're not supposed to perform. You hear in the morning while people going to work to the mansion, the president going to Jamaica Road. Okay, you leave your country where people suffering, you go to FIFA. That irresponsibleness. That's why Joshua should not be president for one. All the other things then they can compare to all the other opposition. But Joshua is not qualified to run Claritin. People get into politics. You start with an area where you go in, you perform with the public. They see tangible. George Weah was running Lone Star. What kind of trophy Lone Star brought to Liberia? Even the IE, even the Gion professional, all the venture he's been in, what good has come from it? You understand what I mean?
He is not articulate. Not articulate. All
right. You speaking the English, you telling people they want to take water, all of the garbage, the greenish, all of the gutter. How does that influence a young child today to learn English to be able to compete in the world? He said if the president ain't know English, he can be president. Why should I have to go to school? You understand what I mean?
Right.
The message you send when George Weah goes and opens his mouth in any country, when people listen to him speak, it reflects on you and me. What country do you know hire a football player in the world? The great Maradona, the Cristiano, all these people in the world, in Europe. I did the research. No country have done it. Because why? They do the government, the people need good representation. As much as Messi is the greatest player who has ever lived, one of the greatest player, Argentina is not going to take him and make him prime minister. Because what I would do is, it would destroy the whole fabric of society. He may be good as a football player. In fact, in Brazil, they brought what his name, Maradona. I know not Brazil. In Brazil, there was a football player in Brazil, very popular football player, and they made him minister of sports. He didn't last 1 year. They had to remove him. He was incapable. Right. Only Liberia, we can do the most outrageous things. Okay, so let's go back to even the performance. Like I said, the corruption, they're all corrupt. Because if you say, George, we are corrupt, and that's why you want moving from there, then I think most of the people, the Joe Burger, they don't stand the test.
This is where now we need to draw our line, Chu.
Yeah, but
this is where I think we should draw the line.
We can't, but the thing is, it will be hypocrisy if we're saying we shouldn't elect this mayor for something that the other people there just as equally guilty of. That one will back Josh Weah on that one. If you say performance, if you say we shouldn't elect George Weah because of performance, how has the other people in Liberia performed? In their own political party, let's go to the ANC party. What kind of performance in ANC party? What kind of performance in Unity Party?
That's the result. That's the result of what again we call the corrupt act.
Exactly. So
everybody's there for their own self.
Right. So if you're going to charge George Weah for something, then you must be willing to charge everybody for the same thing.
That is what I'm. That's my foundation. That's my foundation.
Right.
If justice cannot begins with the founder or the foundation builder, we're not doing anything better.
Yeah. So no.
So George, we are coming back to be president in Liberia for another 6 years. Is going to be very, very deplorable in this country. Like you said, performance. When did he start performing? When did he really started doing job? When?
Yeah.
Few months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. But like I said,
Few months ago. And what? He trying to influence the election for himself.
I don't want to be misquoted here. Let me say this. Even God can help Joshua. Okay? And I will say that again. Jesus Christ said can't help him. You know the power of the phrase from Benjamin Franklin, heaven help those who help themselves.
Right.
Okay? Because unfortunately, when you don't know something, you get intimidated by people who know and you don't seek help. Wise people seek help. Okay? People like all the leaders in Africa, whatever Paul Kagame, whatever Jerry Rawlings, they sought capable people to bring them around them to help them in different areas, economics, commerce, trade. You know, unfortunately, that's something George Weah does not know. George Weah think the people he been playing football with and Samuel 12 from CDC, and Eugene Nangwe, all the useless ones, he thinks that, they are helping him. So when I tell you that even God can help him, because God is not going to come down from heaven and tell you that you cannot run a country with idiots. You cannot run an economy with idiots, people who don't know anything. You cannot run a city with idiots. You can take a man at Jefferson Koji who barely finished high school, okay, who can barely put subject verb agreement together, and you say you want to manage a city. Are you kidding me? That people city who got PhD struggle over managing a city. Then you take somebody like Jefferson Koji who never had a job before in life. So when I say reasons why George Weah shouldn't be president, not because of the economic performance or the corruption. Labrador being corrupt, they will probably continue to be corrupt. But when you see these things where this man does not even want to help himself, okay, your country in crisis, you're running $2 billion debt, all right, people are crying, hospitals, no medicine. Then you sit down and go to FIFA and go sit down there for 2 months. Is that a wise decision? Is that somebody who will say, okay, let me, try? So as far as the job we are doing, like I said, the man he doesn't even care, because you know what? Liberian people don't care. And if you don't care, you pay the price. So let them pay the price. Why get upset? They were the same people then who put George out there when they know these things. So you leave the man alone.
So we're paying the price. I'm
And
so
your place
tired
on
of
no
paying
price.
this price now.
And paying the price is good, because even
Tired
the
of paying
Bible
this
says you
price.
gotta have your reward, right? You get, that's part of life, that you make a choice, you have the reward. So if George we are sitting for 6 years, that would be good for the country, because then the next time a football player who don't even know how to ride a bicycle can stand in front of you and tell you, say, because I'm popular, you will tell him to go to hell. And you start looking for people who understand administration, people who understand economics, people who understand job creation to at least help you. But what can George Weah provide for the Liberian people in terms of any one of those things? In terms of health, what can he provide? What knowledge or impact? You think you can take a position that you don't know anything about, right? And say, oh, I will get other people to tell me what to do. As a president or as a leader, you should be one of the smartest people in the room, because people are gonna bullshit you. People are gonna come out. You think the CEO running the company don't know finance? You think he doesn't know marketing? You think he doesn't know when you get here a report and it's not correct? You think you can run a company and say, oh yeah, we'll bring advisors? You think the advisors don't have their own interest? So no, you can't take, the senior in the House of Representatives. You take idiots, you elect them, then you say you want a staff to help them. You want a staff to help them. All the people in the House of Representatives, where they come from, they can't take people. So if the country not doing well, who are you gonna blame? You can't blame Joe Bannie or blame Josh WEAH or blame Ellis Jones. You elected your tribal man that came from your county because you're tribalist. So when you're suffering, why should anybody care? You should suffer. That's the responsible thing because you learn through suffering. You learn when you do things that is wrong. Just like a child putting a hand on the stove, they will not go and touch it again. So unfortunately, Liberians haven't learned yet. So keep getting your Yeke Koluba that can be making noise, and don't worry about your district, what kind of social program in your district, what kind of education program in your district. But because Yeke Koluba can cost John we are man, so you like that.
Yeah.
But then you won't call somebody in America when you're sick and say, "Oh, I got my malaria. Thing easy. Go to Yeke Koluba. He's your district representative." That's the price you will pay. You see what I mean? And like I said, we need responsibility. People need to take responsibility. If you make a bad choice, you're not like a 16-year-old girl, where you go pass around, you are full adult. You should know what choices you're making and what the consequences are. So I'm happy the way things going. I'm so excited. Get your Yeke Koluba there, or Cummings will put him there because Cummings is a selfish individual who don't care anything about people, just himself. Get your boy child, put him in the legislature and see you get health care. Get your what he need, the former defense minister, the other corrupt one that stole $1.2 million. Samuka. Yeah, boy can endorse it and think you're doing your children good. and think that your child in your county, in Lofa County or Nima County, put your Prince Johnson there and suffer good. Because Prince Johnson doesn't know anything about running a government. Prince Johnson does not know anything about administration. He does not know anything about business and economics. How can Prince Johnson bring companies to your county? Will all companies come to your county? How will you get employment? If you don't have employment, how will your county develop? But you looking at their our travel man. So your travel man make you suffer. Joe Palmer on Joe Rice. Keep suffering.
I think most of the problem of George WEAH today that's bringing him down is that he's very complacent. Nothing moves him. But and that also comes with the ignorant part of his leadership. Nothing moves him. All right. The people around him, like you said, the company around him that messes him up. And again, like we always say, that once a corrupt man is sucking, Jews from anywhere, he's complicit. The man has not the country at heart. Number one, in the justice department, in the justice system. Okay, how many of these things have been going on in the country that raises eyebrow that George WEAH can even make comment on? To even address issues.
Not fair. That's not fair. You brought a man who does not know. You elected him. You promoted him because you thought you were going to get job and you get contract and you'll be work. He does not know.
No.
You think George WEAH can read a freaking book? When last have you seen George WEAH open a newspaper to read what's going on? You can go on it. I challenge anybody. You can go to the internet now. You can find George WEAH playing football. You can find him. He's running. You can find. Show me the time where you see George WEAH sitting down in your office reading the newspaper.
Well, he can read to us the news.
No, he can read. So that's not his thing. That's not the man's thing. You stop giving people.
But George WEAH being another president for this coming election, it is going to destroy Liberia's character, Liberia's moral, and every fabric of Liberia. So, for us, we are saying Liberian people would need to look somewhere else. Not even among the four gurus that are standing now. We cannot even depend on any one of them. The Joseph Walker, yes, I respect him. He's my namesake, you know. But that nobody looked to that man for leadership. Mr. Cummings, nobody looked to him for leadership. Mainly for me, our heritage will be in danger. Of course, Tewa Gonglo, we already passed it. And then the George Weah. The George Weah has climaxed his own lack of his inability by what he's doing. With all the 5 years, people suffer in this country, man. Chu-Chu, you need to go to Liberia, physically and see.
I have my own suffering like bro, Mr. Bannie.
No,
Nobody in Liberia.
you
Nobody
need
in
to
Liberia.
go
Let me
in the
make this point
Georgia
here.
regime and
No
see
suffering
how
in
the
Liberia
people
yet.
are suffering.
That's not true. I disagree with you. The suffering that are there in Liberia today, where you see girls and wearing $500 here with iPhone and walking around the street with Gucci and Team Bed are suffering there. Don't make guilt trip on me. I saw suffering in Liberia. What the people going through is they want a lifestyle that they can't afford. And that's because they see the leaders doing certain things.
Yeah, because the leaders are using them.
Yes.
To promote themselves. The leaders are using them, and those who are serious want to do something in life, better life for themselves, they don't have the opportunity. Look, okay, these are the girls, the ladies want to do something, but they can't get job freely.
The ladies, like I said,
they can't just go and apply for the job and they call them for the job.
I think we need to do a whole show one day on the young people in Liberia, how most of them are serious. Okay, because most of these young people
are serious too.
Yeah, but most of the young people, and you know, I know young people in Liberia that know about the business. Most of them are not serious, especially some of the young women. They want to pass around, go to Royal, and eat pizza and enjoy themselves. Most of them can make market. Most of them can do farming. Go to Ghana, go to Nigeria, go to other countries. You see young ladies, college students, okay, making gari.
With that, my brother, the opportunity has to be given.
No, but in Africa, working on opportunity in Kenya,
Liberia, the government is not giving no small business loan.
I totally agree with you.
Typical Liberians.
But I totally agree with you. But most of the same young lady that got a CDC hat on and telling you say they're gonna follow WEAH. So why should you feel sorry for somebody like that?
Well, you know, like I said again, these folks are looking for place to survive.
If I see your young lady you wearing,
they're all looking for place to survive, my brother.
No, hold on now.
The government of George Weah need to have eradicated that and start giving small business loan to people who are serious and want to.
Most of them will not do anything with it. Most of them will not do anything with it. Because the first thing I'm telling you, if I see a young person in Liberia where today you can learn anything in the world on your phone, you can learn software, you can learn anything in the world on your phone, and I see you and you behind a man like Tewan Gonglo, or you behind a man like George Weah or Ellis Cummings, you wearing a t-shirt, then you should suffer.
Yeah, well, again, my brother, let's look at the level of education in our country.
No, let me tell you
why these things couple with the bad governance.
Let me make a point here. You know why you should suffer? Because first of all, you don't see Ellis Cummings' son with t-shirt and hat and beret. You don't see George Weah's son with t-shirt and beret. You don't see Joe Barker's son with t-shirt and beret. That's one reason why you should suffer. Secondly, Ellis Cummings didn't give you loan to go and start a business and go sell your Grand Prix or your coconut or whatever. George Weah didn't give you money to go sell your Grand Prix or your coconut or whatever you can do. Okay? And you jump behind them. Then you won't come and play, you won't come play pity on me and say with country suffering. You are idiot too. And you should suffer. Because the first thing is to recognize, okay, the first thing a person should understand is to recognize who has your interest and who doesn't. If you remember CDC in Liberia for all these years and you got a job, you got business, you got $10 in loan program, and you all there on the internet defending George Weah there, enjoying, giving money to girlfriend, buying houses for girlfriend, then you're a fool. Then you're a fool. Okay, that's what the Bible said. Then you're a fool. If you behind Ellis Cummings Ellis coming that children all in America, you can send well name Mariah to college all the way in America. Where about the other young boys that have been behind him, they can't even get money to go to LU. But yes, this frisky girl that he can send her to America to school, buy an apartment for her, all I wanted. And you're asking, you can't see that and say that this man is not a serious man, then why should I have pity on you? So, but I mean, if you are a young person in Liberia and you are striving and you are thinking right, you are not behind the job we are. The gonglo. Where you think gonglo children that go to school? You think they go to government school? Where you think Cummings or Burkhardt children? All Burkhardt children went to school in America. All of them.
Yeah.
They didn't go to school. Then you in 4 year. You barely get clean water to drink. You barely get a school with black bull. Then you behind Burkhardt. While Burkhardt, when he retired, most president or vice president, they go back to their town and they do something productive. Yes, a man will get on here on the next show. We'll go on Burkhardt. But yes, a man, 5 years, he sit down. He even can't go even teach in a school. Unproductive, completely idle. All right? That direct general got to kind of stealing money that they got to kind of get him. Oh, yeah, $200. Henry Costa got to buy a plane ticket for him. What kind of shame is that? You been a man in health position in your life that Henry Costa you depending on to buy you ticket. Then what kind of example you're setting? The little boy like Henry Costa that he even had a real job in his life. You've been working for 40 years and you depending on Henry Costa to buy you plane ticket to come to America. You are useless. So I feel sorry for some of them. Let them go through this 6 years. Like I said, Joe Bannie not going to suffer. Alex Jones not going to suffer. Alex Jones already did suffering. He already ate his burger weed. He already dodged bullet in Liberia. So you can't make him guilty. You can't tell him say you suffer in Liberia more than him. He suffered there. His pa died there. So you got to, the thing is, we have to take personal responsibility. These are the people who are electing people in the House of Representatives. These are the same young people, some of them, that got these people in power. When we can't talk against them, they insult us.
Yes.
When we talk against the Henry
try to give them hands up. I mean, they like they fight us.
Yes.
So, I'm even afraid that if I go back, I will have a lot of enemy against me. I'll tell you, when I was in Liberia, I had people calling me at night to threaten me.
Yeah.
I have one of them on my inbox now.
Not job we are doing it. That is stupid ones that you hear killing yourself.
That we are dragging on you small. What it mean to dragging on me small? I said, well, y'all will drag. You're not only drag, y'all will crawl on me. But does that mean that we should stop telling y'all the good thing to do? But people, y'all need to open your eyes. As well, young people, y'all are strong. If we have a good government in Liberia that will invest in y'all will do good in Liberia. Y'all wouldn't even want to travel. But today, Chu-Chu, every young Liberian want to leave Liberia.
But then it will say the country doing, then it will support job WEAH and say, oh yeah, I support job. If you support job WEAH, why you want to leave from here? Why you want to leave?
They will call you every day. Find somebody for me over there to come for me.
If you
do the scholarship, there's that. As a result, when you hear about scholarship going to like Cyprus and other European, everybody not only to know that you get there, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Look,
Liberian students who are abroad, not America,
liberation,
not maybe Europe. But anything that falls, they will run for it. In Ghana, they will run.
Yeah.
In Rwanda, in Cyprus somewhere. And as soon as they get there, they meet up with difficulties. Because the government will not even support them.
You go into a country with no financial support,
no financial support,
no support system. How you not suffer? You think people came to America and there in 2 years time they were doing well? They know some of our stories in America. They know how long it took us to even go finish school, start working, fall down, get down. So it's not a paradise where because you're in America you do well, or because you can't do America then all your problems solved. But I wanted to say this: there can be no liberation without education. Okay, what's killing Liberians is ignorance, and it's because you got a press that's ignorant, that don't know anything, where they just every day because they close smooth radio down. You have laws. It is same people in your unity party that pass those laws or agree for those laws to be on the books, right? You get bug out the head of unity party. Why he didn't tell his senators and representatives, okay, libel laws and other laws should be stricken up. He's an incompetent man. Why Gonglo ain't go there and say, no, these laws in the future will affect people when you sue them. And it could jeopardize. But they don't know those things. But when they were used against somebody they like, then they will do things. So I think the problem, just the way how we took a man who is not educated, because getting a degree is not education. Okay. We took a man who is not educated at any significant level, and we entrusted him with the entire economy, the future of our country. We must pay the price. Even Jesus Christ and God said will not help us. You remember the people in Pharaoh that they wanted a king in the Bible? And God, right?
Yeah.
You guys are the Bible people. So yeah, God says not going to help Liberia until Liberians start to do the right thing. You cannot go and take somebody, a mechanic, and you say you want to make the person a pilot. Okay? Or you want to make them a brain surgeon. So that way when the Liberians can fix their own problems. And it starts first by education. It starts by discussion. It starts by talking the truth. And they don't like us because we're here to talk the truth. They want all the kinds of, oh, Joe, we are the economy is not that bad. The economy today is not worse than where it was on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Okay, I'm a business economy. I can tell you that. The growth in the country is 4%. Okay, on Ellen, it was 3.4%. Okay, from 2014 to 2018, the Irish were 3%. So you can make an economic case. The inflation rate on a George WEAH is 11%. On a Ellen, at one point was 29%. You cannot make that case and say, oh, the economy is bad. You see what I'm trying to say? Let's be realistic. So you can get George WEAH on the economy. Okay? More people are employed. Because what? The government is the largest employer. The budget came from what? 500 million to 800 million. What are you going to say now? You know?
Yeah, the exchange rate came down. Most people employ no pay.
Yeah, but...
So what's the need?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, the reason is because you're paying $90 million to your House of Representative. You're going to call it by him complaining about his pay. Okay? Prince Johnson is not complaining about his pay. If you take the money in the budget and the lawmakers agree to pay themselves a significant portion of the budget, then how the ordinary people will be paid. But ain't that the same lawmaker you running around campaigning for? So how is that George WEAH problem? That is not George WEAH problem. That's your idiot legislator and senator problem and greed. And your political leader who don't know to talk on these things because they're all supporting these people. So you can't get George WEAH on the economy. You can get George WEAH on performance because they all has had bad administration. Ellen was the worst because in terms of you take 68 contracts that worth $16 billion according to international expert, and you get nothing for it except for your son your son and your cronies around you. $16 billion is a fortune. It's that money that every Liberian today should be some of the richest people in the world because we're not many. And they took that contract along with Cummings because Cummings helped them. That's why I say when Cummings became president, he'll be even worse because he knows all the corporate cockroach business. He helped Ellen at the RB Bank.
Politics in Liberia.
He helped Ellen at the RB Bank get these greedy foreign investors to come to those places, sign these bogus contracts, take the resources of the country for 30 years, 40 years, and we got nothing. Cummings got hit on a commission, Ellen got her on a commission, and that the same Cummings today, young people running behind. So how do you help a man who can't help himself, who can't even see in his own eyes? He can't see, but he look at somebody like Cummings as a hero. You know, so again, let's take responsibility for the men we brought. Let's realize that it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be suffering, but you gotta eat the fufu you cook. We cook the fufu because we're selfish.
So then can we say George WEAH is a victim of the system? Can we say then that George WEAH is a victim of the system?
Yes, he's a product of the bad system. The bad when you go to
the product or the victim.
Yes, he's a victim.
He is the victim of the
Yes,
system.
yes, yes. When you have
Okay.
no, because if George, well, let me tell you something. If we have schools, right, in every community, and we have programs to teach young people in those slums, okay, about civics, about doing the right things, all right, about how you can, about lack of corruption. George Weah today, he would have been president. He would have had some of those values in him. He would have said, "Oh, I can take $20 million of the budget when you have a country that people basically don't have food to eat." But we didn't care. We were like, "Oh, you know what? The big people in there, put the Bonsky in there, they should have all the money, all the power. They send the children to JJ Rao, they send the children there abroad, and you leave George Weah in the swamp, okay, on the floor. You get him no aid, no support, no education. And then when that man turned around and became president, then you expect him to have the kind of intellect and the kind of, the kind of empathy that you expect from a child who's been formed, from a child who's been, terribly developed. So he is a victim of the system. It just happened a coincidence because when you're doing wrong, so those children you see today in Lofa County, the children you see today in Sodinware, the children you see in Buchanan that we are bending today, we'll pay the price for it 30 years from now. That's why
Yeah,
when
of
Taylor,
course.
that's why when Taylor
Yeah.
people at Bureau, it was easier to recruit child soldiers. It was easier to recruit people because we have been on the people for the elites, for the top people in government. Like I said, the Bonsky in there, the Genesis, all these people in government who just they brought all the children in America. They were making tons of money in Liberia. They didn't care. So you reap what you sow. What word you live in a physical world, you know. Every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Everything that you do. So you see Prince Johnson today, it's the same product. That's why people will follow him, even though they will see this man is a cold-blooded killer, but they will follow him because there's no education, there's no opportunity, there's nothing. So you're going to be president. You got a lot of work to do.
Everybody has their own team. That's what it is in
That's what I'm
Liberia.
saying.
Everybody has his own team. You know.
We sat down here and
I think
we made a sincere case against Tewan Gonglo where he worked before. We sat down here, and your lawyer, who is in America, who is
right.
educated, he says, "You know what? I don't care for all the cases you're making.
I don't care for everything. I want Tewan Gonglo."
Yeah,
I mean,
you care about that man working
when the children back home think about us? Now you know what? I will listen to this. What a guy name? Mr. Carpet Doyen. Okay, Carpet Doyen. When the moderator asks him what actually is the problem, the root cause of the destruction of Liberia, he simply just said, "It's a system. It is the system. It is not Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. It is not George Weah. It is not even the past government. It is the system that we put in place.
You have to change the system. You have to change.
We got to change the system.
You got to change, and that's what some of us fighting for. People like,
and
oh, you want to be president?
Why we, the grassroots that are coming, who knows the solution, need to come in there and fix it. And not George Weah. George Weah does not know the system. He is the victim of the system.
He's a victim of the system.
He is the victim.
And that don't excuse him.
The product of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf corruption, and that makes him the victim of the system.
Yes, he is.
And now, if we take these people out, we have to have a leader in place that will change everything around and make it new. That becomes a revolution.
That is
of our political system. We got to be revolutionized.
We need a social revolution, and that's what's happening now. Okay,
that's it.
Because, like you said, the whole system is broken. How can you take almost 60% of the budget of the country, all right, and pay the top people in the country? I mean, so the budget is, if it's 800 million, we're taking almost $300 million. Okay, and who that $300 million going to? Buffett.
Yes, salary for the cabinets and big people.
And the same thing was done on a Boyka. So he's no different. He does not have a word to say towards this. He's a disgrace to Liberia.
No, well, I'd like to get on Boyka.
This guy was getting $1 million for entertainment and amusement. Why vice president? When people were in FOIA, children in FOIA don't have clothes to put on their back. That's a wicked man. Okay? I don't care what. So a revolution is when you come, social revolution or cultural revolution, where there is an awakening of minds, where people scrap the old practices. The French Revolution, okay? Those were all things the people rose up and said, the king or the monarch or the government is not serving us. We demand.
We demand.
Okay,
We demand.
say that thing Edwin Stowe
Right.
going to pass a budget so that your children can eat or you can get medicine. Good luck. You will die in the hospital. Sit down and think that, Ellis coming will come there, who wants to be in power will go against Bergen Desire Finley, Bergen Guy Finley, and all his corrupt people about took by there so that you can eat. You will starve. You need to wake up and say no more. I don't care. You can be Ellis Comey, you can be George WEAH, you can be who. I demand that I have the rights and the resources of this country. I demand that I have some. That's what you call a revolution. And that's how the only way out of Liberia. You can have all your fraudulent election. If there's an election where the president got all the money in the central bank, you got all the media, you got all the news thing, that you call that election. You call that election, seriously, you call that democracy. Can you go on LBS to make your case?
Where they saving their money?
Can you go on LBS to make your case? With LBS even mention your name? With Spoon TV even mention your name? You hear crying for Spoon TV. Has Spoon TV what they say? Let's look into Joseph Bannie. Yes, a good man, not involved in any trouble in Liberia. Took his hard work, help his people in his country, doing the best he can. Let's talk to him. Has Spoon TV done that for you? But you hear arguing.
If I'm going to Spoon TV, for them, they will say, once you're not talking good about George WEAH, they're not going to allow you.
That's what I'm saying. You were kind of saying,
that's why all we are talking about. It is the system's fault.
Yes,
our political system, our social system, everything need to be changed.
And
I think the best topic that we should be talking about to educate the young people's mind is how to choose a good leader.
Right.
How and what should we look for in a good leader? Those are the things I think we should be dwelling on. Yes, we can sit here and criticize them. But if we don't educate them, they're still going to fall back to those devils.
Yeah, but the thing is, revolution, unfortunately, you got to be lucky. Cultural revolution, wherever, social revolution, you have to be lucky because it comes once in a blue moon and the people have to be ready for it. You can talk all you want to talk this thing here. The people will turn around, what his name, George Lobo going to turn around and tell you, say, Borgard are the best man. He can see Borgard taking the bribe from the $30 million. You understand? So the reality is we have to be ready for it. And unfortunately, we are not ready for that because you know what? We are victims of it. We are victims in a sense where we were not, well groomed to think. What kind of critical thinker in Liberia? What kind of even journalists in Liberia? To think and write stories that will evoke the people's mind. Everybody, George WEAH bad. Borgard good. That journalist there. I'm just telling you right now, and I challenge all of them. George WEAH economic record is better than all of them. All the past government. Right now.
Okay. Just off the record. Yeah. Off the record. Like the attorney said yesterday, accusing me to produce evidence. High evidence because he felt that I brought allegation against his man and I must bring evidence, which of course I got the evidence. So what I'm saying is, can Mr. Henry Costa come out with high evidence? In fact, we made communication from the donors for the $10 million that they said they will give. Because in his interview, in his press conference, he only said this happened. Can this man bring proof?
Henry Costa does not need to show any evidence. The fact that Joe Boakai called Henry Costa his son, went to Henry Costa's house, hang with Henry Costa, Henry Costa campaigned with him, right? I can't come here and say, oh, Mr. Bannie is a good man. Trust Mr. Bannie, he's a good man. Anything about me, he knows about it. And then I go back when because Mr. Bannie says something wrong about me, then I say, oh no, that he produced evidence. The evidence is there that the fact that this is one of his closest advisor.
What's that, Father?
So what do you need evidence? He the one who came and brought Henry Costa and sat him behind and say, yo, listen to the man. So why are we wasting our time to say, and that's the thing about it. It's like when we don't, like you don't want the truth. You know the truth, but you don't want it because it's not comfortable. Joseph Boca is corrupt. I've been saying it. Joseph Boca is useless. I've been saying it. When I used to say, how long have I been saying? I know you can bear testimony to me. The records are there. Because it don't take me. If I see a man like Joseph Boca and his associates are Samuka, okay, Henry Costa, what make even a little child intuition would tell you that this man is not serious and he's corrupt. I don't have to catch it in a crime. Just his associate. His accomplice.
Yeah.
His accomplice.
You are identified by your associates.
Exactly.
And that's what damaged George Weah. His associates.
You can make that case against George Weah. You can make that case against George Weah.
That's what damages leadership throughout his associate.
That's why I'm trying to tell you, even God cannot help
George. The boy come with sweet mouth, the boy come with good thing, put him there and he backflip on us.
George,
you see, like I'm saying,
cannot help George Weah. The man is done. He will be there for 6 more years, and that all will come. His legacy will crumble, and that a time will come in like, bro, when the name. Let me finish my prophecy.
Let me finish my prophecy. Look into the grassroots.
Let me finish my
prophecy. The grassroots political parties are coming up. If you Liberians, if the voters, if y'all don't look among us and pick one of us, George Weah will win. Because look at the battle that's already going on among the full people. And those things about them will bring before you. Y'all will still not believe it. And if we put these people back, man, Liberia is done. Because the same lawlessness, people will be there.
Listen, Liberia people survive.
Yeah.
The 60s, they survived the 80s, they survived the 90s,
they will survive the highway.
They will survive.
We'll survive the highway. Until we learn, we'll continue to
I can tell you this much. They'll survive, but some of them will be going to this, some of them will be Skeletor going to the next voting pool in 2029. Okay, they'll survive. They can survive.
That's true.
But while they go to the pool the next time, they will be all skin and bones, okay? Because the economy is going to crumble.
It's going to crumble.
It's already crumbling.
All the places, how about the $65 million you just say he signed? $65 million contract. Who's going to pay?
It's going to crumble. And like I was saying,
who's going to pay?
All right. If you win,
but I think it's exhausted. We just want to keep telling the Liberian people to keep heads up, and look around you. There are good leaders among us, good leaders among us, that if you choose right, Liberia is going to be better and your life is going to be changed. That's just my advice to y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
the grassroots leadership, leadership, y'all look among us. We are the one who can change this country. So with Chu-Chu and I on this show, we try to give you a heads up.
Let me help you a little bit. And let me make a case here. The reason why you will boycott the 4 major parties, okay, it's not so much you're doing it because you so much believe in somebody else other than 4 major parties. Remember we talk about revolution? What revolution is that you send a strong message to the status quo. When the people elected Obama in this country, well, not because Obama was qualified, more qualified than anybody, or he had the experience, but the people felt they were tired with Washington. And most especially, they were tired with racism. So they said, we're not picking on it, we'll pick the black man here. Even he get foreign experience with picking. Why? Because we want this country to become an inclusive country. So when you don't vote for the full people and you vote for somebody else, I'm not going to promise you and tell you say that person will be Jesus Christ. They will have to work hard. They will have to bring the right person, people around them. They will have to work on a plan. But what you will do is you will get rid of this hegemony of people who have felt entitled. They seen George Weah, they seen Cummings, they seen Borka. Now you setting a new course now to say this is a new dispensation. It will tell those people, new people now that you know what? If you don't perform, just the way how we boycott Borka and we boycott Weah and we boycott Cummings with all the money and all the whatever, we'll boycott you. That's what's important. You see what I'm trying to say? That's the only thing they can do in this election. You boycott the major people to send a strong message to the international community and say we're tired with the same people. You get Borka there supporting all the Unity Party people, corrupt senators. But then you say that a man will change Liberia. So why he didn't change the Unity Party people? You know, you
supporting them.
You get comments there bringing.
They can.
So that's my plea, and that's why I will be campaigning for this election. Send a message. You know, send a message. You know, tell people you're fed up. You don't care. You know, it's like when a woman wants to leave you, I don't care. You can go buy her a new car. You can go do whatever. When she make up her mind to say I'm done with you, that's it. That's what the Liberian people need until they get to that point where they say, to hell with all the old politicians that have done nothing for us, or if that stick, we'll vote for the stick. Then we're ready for business. Until then, good luck with George Weah. Enjoy your suffering.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Good luck, Liberian people. Good luck.
Okay?
And we keep praying and asking God for more direction.
All right. But you know, in conclusion, this is a good show. Like I said,
thank you.
We don't have a case against Georgia for economic because they're all the same or corruption. But the message that is sent, where you take a man, an irresponsible man, with no value system, that surrounds themselves with criminals and hoodlums, you know what I mean? And
it's
bring them in key position is not a serious man. It's not a man who cares for his country. It's not a man who cares for the city. Because if you want city of Maria to not be an open switch, you will look for somebody who's good. And you will not put Jefferson Kochi there. But you want people to be on the street. So you bring Jefferson Kochi and you put him there. And you don't care. Because your son, Timothy Weah, don't live in Morovia. Right? And you don't live in Central Morovia. You build your nice house, that's all Nash Street. So you don't got to deal with it. But the person on Benson Street and the person Waterside, they got to be smelling all the stench. So
and you know something you struck a while ago?
Yeah.
About these people's children and relatives not even identifying themselves with them. When last did we see Cloud Weah wearing beret?
You wanna see it? Let me see Ellis coming.
Cloud Weah is not even wearing the t-shirt nor the beret.
Right.
To even back the husband.
So,
but where the goals going? To Jamaica.
Exactly.
George Weah brother-in-law is over all the goal area in the Sino and in the southeastern.
Yep.
Where they going? Building Jamaica.
Because what you'll be doing is you will be responsible for everything that happens going forward. It will be the blood of the whole country on your hands. Because it's like you take an idiot and you put him at the driver's seat and then you complain. Even if you don't vote or you can't find somebody to don't vote for, don't vote. But do not participate in foolishness. And tomorrow will be another edition, or tomorrow or Monday will be another edition. I think Monday. This show will be going on as long as we are here and we can, and to talk about the issues. And from a different perspective, they will cost us. They're already costing us. They already think so. They got more time to cost because we'll be on another political leader on Monday. Thank you very much. Let me give you the last word.
Thank you so much. And God bless. Adios.
All right. Adios. Bye bye.